Gus Brown, men's basketball, class of 1999. Gus Caesar Brown was a standout for the North Georgia College and State University Saints in the late 90s. The 6'4" forward was a captain on the team and led the program in his play on the court and his leadership off it. He compiled over 1,500 career points in his tenure at NGCSU. He was a member of the 1996 squad that won the GACC regular season and tournament titles before making an appearance in the NAIA National Tournament, North Georgia's final appearance in the postseason before moving to NCAA Division II. In his final two seasons, in 1998 and 1999, he ranked in the top 3 in the Georgia-Alabama-Carolina Conference in field goal percentage and rebounding. Gus led the Saints in scoring, rebounding, and field goal shooting in his senior season in 1999, earning team MVP and GACC All-Conference honors. During that season, he scored in double figures in all 35 games. After graduation, Gus continued his basketball career professionally in the Philippines, competing in one of Asia's most competitive leagues. He played a key role for the Manila Metro Stars, helping lead the team to a national championship in 1999. His professional career overseas showcased the same drive, versatility, and high basketball IQ that defined his college years. Please welcome to the stage Gus Brown. Welcome, Gus, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What a great way to get things kicked off here. Before we get into the conversation, I'm sure there are probably some folks that you'd like to thank or recognize.
Absolutely.
The floor is yours.
Okay, how long do I have?
Well, you know what your better half told you.
She told me to keep it short, but Coach Evans told me to take as much time as I wanted. So tonight, Coach Evans is the boss. This is exciting. Thank you for having me here tonight. First and foremost, I just wanted to give glory to God. He made this possible. I've been blessed my entire life, so this is just incredible. Another blessing to my life. I want to give thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. This is just a phenomenal moment, so thank you I appreciate that. I want to thank the board, the Hall of Fame board, for hearing my nomination and then saying yes to my name. Coach Dunn, I know you're a big advocate of that. Thank you so much. This means a lot to me. Vince Ray, my point guard from college, this will be the greatest assist you gave me because you nominated me and you wrote such a beautiful application for me, so I appreciate that. Congratulations to the other inductees tonight. It's an honor to share this moment, this night with you and your families and your friends, especially Jimmy Faulkner. If you can hear me, sir. Being inducted tonight. If you read his bio, and this is a night for stories, right? Jimmy Faulkner, if you read his bio, you know how much he contributed to this program, to the athletes who played here. Quick story, when I finished playing professional basketball, came home, invested in real estate for a little while, and then I needed a real job to get benefits and a paycheck because I had a young wife who liked the finer things in life. I called Chris Faulkner, who was my assistant coach my freshman and sophomore year, and I said, hey, your dad used to run a bank. I need a job. Can you please connect me with your dad? 10 minutes later, Jimmy called me, and Jimmy says, Gus, I'm no longer in a position to hire people, but I'll take your resume, and I'll forward it to the right people. And I got that job, Jimmy, as you know. I spent 17 years in the banking industry, and I attribute a lot of my professionalism, my sales acumen, Jimmy, my foundation of my professional career to what you did for me, 24 years ago. Thank you, sir. Well deserved.
What a great story.
Yes, I'm not done. This is my time. Come on, Craig. My parents, my dad's no longer with us, but I know he's got the best seat in the house. My dad was a 23-year Marine, 16-year retired civil service, heavy artillery mechanic for the Marine base. taught us about hard work, dedication, loyal to his family. Thank you, Dad. Mom, you were such a fan of mine. You were my greatest fan from as long as I can remember. You traveled all over the South to watch me play basketball. I can still hear your name in the stands screaming, "Come on, C!" I will always remember that, Mom. Thank you for being such a great mom. I love you. My brother isn't here, but he was a large part of my development as a young man. My sister was my videographer. You know, back when we had camcorders and they were as big as TVs, my sister, who was 4 years younger than me, would record every single game when I was in high school because she knew how much I liked watching myself play basketball. So thank you, Emily. And to my wife, Kim, who we met on this campus 30 years ago. We've been married for 25 years. Kim also played 4 years here at North Georgia for the great Buffy Burson, who is, yes, Buffy. Kim was one of the first players that Buffy recruited and had a great career here. And Kim, it was your tenacity on the court. I realized that your tenacity on the court would probably translate into being a great wife, somebody who would fight for your husband. And you've done that every step of the way. So thank you, and I'll also give her a plug. She also, pre-COVID, was the career all-time assist leader for the women's program. And that way of giving also translates to how she's a mom and gives to her kids. So Kim, you, in my life, in my house, you're the real Hall of Famer. Yes. I'm almost done. Tristan and Felton, my kids are here. This is such a cool opportunity and moment for me as a dad and as a former basketball player here at North Georgia to have my kids here. You guys are great. Tristan and Felton, your spirits are awesome. I cannot wait to watch what you do in this world as young adults. So proud to be your dad. Let's see, Lynn and Graham, you guys have been a blessing to me in my life. Thank you for everything that you do for me as my mother and father-in-law. I love you guys. I've got my cousin Skylar here. Thank you for being here, Skylar. We have so many memories together. I'm just glad you're here to share this with me. I have Desmond, my high school teammate here. We have a lot of stories I cannot share on this stage tonight, but I'm glad you're here. Coach Miller, Jason Miller is here. Jason, raise your hand. This guy was his first year out of college was my freshman year in high school. He was my economics teacher in my freshman year. He was also my JV basketball coach. And the way coaches influence young people, Buffy does this, Coach Dan does this. I try to do this as a coach now. But he said something to me in the hall as a freshman in the hallways of our high school. He said, "Caesar, do you want to play college basketball?" And I said, "I don't know." He said, "You can. Trust me, you can. You just need one school in the whole country to give you an opportunity, and I think you can do it." And those words ring in my ears until this day. And I'll tell that story, Jason, until I am no longer able to tell that story. So thank you for being such a great, awesome coach. Yes, Jason. I want to give thanks also to those who supported me while I played here. Vaughn, you were a part of that. Dr. Oates, thank you so much. Dean Himes, I haven't said hello to you, but you were a part of that as well. Thank you so much for all that you did. I have a college teammate here, Joe Dix, Papa Joe. I told a story earlier to Coach Dan. When I was a freshman in college here, he was a senior. We won a championship together. That guy, once a week, to a bunch of guys who probably didn't want to do this, he held a Bible study for our team. And it wasn't directed by the coaches. It's something that was on his heart, and it was Holy Spirit led. And it's a story, Joe, that I tell everybody I have a chance to talk about too. So thank you for what you did, teammate. To my coaches, Coach Faulkner, my first 2 years here, you were just a consummate professional. You were great at what you did. I thought college is where you go to find coaches who just know everything. And that was you to me. You just knew X's and O's. You knew how to communicate. You were such a great leader to me, and I appreciate all that you did for me as a coach. Coach Gibson is not here. Coach Gibson and I played together. He was my grad assistant my sophomore year, and then he became my assistant coach my last 2 years. He was also a very big influence on my playing career. And then Coach Dunn. Coach Dunn, this is my time. Otherwise, I'd have you up here with me. But because Coach Dunn likes to talk probably as much, if not more than I do. And he's really good at it. But Coach Dunn, thank you for all those years ago, give me an opportunity to play basketball for you. You and I share memories that we talk about all the time. We repeat them, and it's just fun to have those memories with you. So I'm grateful for all that you've done for me. Thank you.
What a powerful message. Gus, you have set the bar pretty high with opening remarks, so everyone else that follows tonight has got some big shoes to fill. But so much of what you've already shared speaks volumes to how much your life has been impacted by the relationships that began right here in Dahlonega. Talk about, in the video that was played before you came on stage, what it was like seeing yourself over at Memorial Hall in action. What memories came to mind?
Oh my gosh. In full disclosure, I watch my highlights probably once a month. Ask my kids, they'll tell you. They'll walk in from school and I'll be on the couch and my highlights will be playing. So Joe, come on, Joe. You know, Joe and our Facebook friends, and Joe shows the same clips of himself when he played in college, and that was 40 years ago. The memories that came back, it was the experiences that I had here as a player were phenomenal. In that clip, you saw us, there was a putback dunk against Troy, which was a Division I school. We were a tiny NAIA school, and we went to Troy, Alabama, and beat them my junior year. That was a phenomenal experience. Winning the conference championship here on this campus in 1996 was pretty cool. Going to Tulsa in the national tournament was very memorable. My senior year, Faulkner University was number 7 or 8 in the country, dominating our conference. It was senior night here. We weren't that great. We were just kind of okay. And they were projected to beat us, and they came here on senior night, and we upset them in Memorial Hall. So all those, let's go. Yeah, so all those memories just are just, when I watch that, it continues to remind me how great of an experience it was.
No doubt. And, you were a member of North Georgia's last NAIA playoff appearance that you just referenced. 27 years passed before, under Coach Dan Evans, now back into the postseason. What does it mean to you knowing that you're a big part of that legacy of success? And how does it feel when you see the success of the program today?
It's exciting. I was talking to Coach Dan about it earlier. I'm so proud of what he has done in the 7 years that he's been here. I try to recall from memory, I think it's back-to-back national tournament appearances a couple of years ago, 4 or 5 consecutive years of winning seasons. It's been great. It was fun to be a part of Coach Faulkner's tenure here as well when he was, he had some great years after Coach Dunn. It was, being a part of that legacy is so awesome. And I'm a nostalgic kind of guy. I tie myself to things like North Georgia basketball, and I probably tie myself to it too much if my wife were to tell you. But it's just fun. It's fun to be a part of what they're doing. It's fun to be a part of where the program came from.
In addition to being part of the basketball program, you were part of the Corps Cadets.
Yes.
Talk about that.
It was great. So one of the first things Coach Dunn said to me when I tried out at Memorial for him, he said, have you committed anywhere? And I said, no. He said, what do you think about the military? And I said, my dad's a 23-year retired Marine, and I've done 3 years of RTC in high school. He said, Gus, you're going to do great here. And then I started school here. And that first year was, you have a kid from South Georgia going from where it's, 75 degrees in December to it snows here in Dahlonega. It never snows down in South Georgia. So I had that. My first class was 8 o'clock. I met my future wife, so we spent a lot of time together. There wasn't a lot of studying going on. So the balance of, so now we have snow, we have a girlfriend, and then there's college basketball, right? And we haven't even added the core to that. But the core, I loved it. I love the Corps. I still love the Corps. I love looking at these guys in uniform. My cousin Skylar, who's here, was a 4-year Marine, and we love the military. But it was tough because there was a tug of, are you in the Corps or are you here to play basketball? And it was really hard to do both because, respectfully, the core guys who were in the core were all core, and they wanted me to do all the things core. But we had basketball practice at 5:30 in the morning, and I couldn't go do PT at 5:45. So there was a little bit of a rub, but we figured it out. I mean, that's what college is all about, right? So it was great.
That's awesome. Now, after North Georgia transitioned into the professional ranks, what's a highlight that stands out from your time with the Metro Stars?
Yeah, so the greatest highlight is I graduated from North Georgia in August. August 13th was a Friday, 1999, and I was in the Philippines on August 16th, a couple of days later. And I went from nice North Georgia climate to humid, tropical weather. So it took me about a week and a half to acclimate to no air conditioning, dehydration, all those things. But that same year, I came into a pretty good team. We won. They had won a lot of games before I got there. I was able to contribute to us winning 22 games in a row. It's the longest winning streak in the history of the Philippines. And we won the national championship or world championship that year as a team. So I went from North Georgia to winning a championship professionally. So it was pretty cool.
That's a nice transition.
Yeah.
Today, you continue to pay it forward within the coaching ranks. Talk about what you're doing now in that regard.
Yeah, so like most former athletes, I now coach my daughter in high school. We're going into our 4th year. It's okay to smile. I'm not going to call you up here. She's afraid I'm going to call her up here to do something or say something. No, so I coach her. It's our 4th year together, and it's just phenomenal, you know, because I've been poured into by so many great coaches. I didn't have any bad coaches. I took all the good things from all my coaches, and I'm trying to pay those forward in the girls that I coach now. So
that's exciting.
Great. Yes.
That's exciting. Final question. What piece of advice would you pass along to those student athletes today with regard to taking full advantage of their time here at North Georgia?
You know, that's a great question. For me, if you play a sport, take it seriously, right? Because the time frame that now, I don't know how many years you get to play now, but back when we played, it was 4 years and you were done. But those 4 years passed so quickly. And for me as a basketball player, every point, every rebound, every assist, every steal, I cherished every moment. So I would say cherish, you know, the opportunity you have to become a better basketball player while you have this great opportunity. And also pour into the relationships. Not everybody is like a Joe Dix or, you know, a Coach Faulkner who really values relationships, but try to find it within yourself to take from the experience, the relationships that you have. Me being able to call Coach Faulkner and then leaving enough impression on Jimmy Faulkner to say, Gus, I believe you can do any job you want in the bank. I think that is the true message that I think every college athlete should walk away with, understanding.
Sage advice. Well said. Ladies and gentlemen, Gus Brown.